Even in the face of overwhelming odds, there are people who are willing to risk everything to try and save the life of someone they love. I'm William Shatner. Tonight on Rescue 911, true stories of fear, hope, and bonds that will not be broken. We begin in May of 1992 in northern Idaho. Dwayne and Marcia Dust were celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary by bringing their good friends Terry and Al Eveland, together with a friend who owned an inflatable raft, for a weekend of whitewater rafting on the Salmon River.
When the water is really cold and the river is really high, you've got to be very careful. It technically is possible to drown face down in a life jacket from swallowing enough water or hypothermia.
The couples had gone whitewater rafting for the first time the day before, but had stuck to the calmer parts of the river. On Sunday, they all agreed to try one more run before going home.
We wanted to be a little more aggressive on the rapids because we had such a good ride on Saturday. So we talked the girls into going again because they weren't really too sure that they wanted to do it to begin with.
Dwayne and Marcia had a friend that owned the raft, and he'd been down here rafting 3 or 4 times.
If we hit any big waves, the guys in the front are supposed to get up like this because you want to keep your guide dry.
Marcia and I were both scared. I'm not a thrill seeker person, but I thought, well, I can do this. Just hang on.
Oh, no, you're going to love it.
It sure is pretty out here.
It was so calm and just peaceful. The calm before the storm. We went over one small set of rapids, and that was fun. And then he was heading us towards another rather large bump.
Norm Klobuchar, an experienced Salmon River rafting guide, was returning to his home on the riverbank.
I saw a raft out in the river approaching this very ugly spot.
Look at that guy.
All of us who float around here a lot know to stay away from it. So he was slowing his boat down, he was lining his boat up just to run right into that hole.
When a raft flipped over in the frigid waters of the Salmon River, 5 people were thrown out and swept downstream into swift-moving rapids. Rafting guide Norm Klobuchar happened to be nearby when the accident occurred.
The raft was stuck there right in the hold. I watched all 5 people disappear around the bend.
You go see if they get out of the river. You go call for help.
The water was in the 40s. Cold water saps your strength really quick.
I looked around and no one else was there except my husband, Al. The water had such force that you're just at its mercy. I just panicked. Just total terror, I guess you'd call it. Finally, I got into one of those eddy things. I was so tired, and you're so cold. I've never been so frightened in all my life of anything. We got up on the rocks, and I was hollering to Al, Dwayne and Marcia, where are they? And the gentleman who owned the raft said that they went on downstream.
I pulled into a spot where I thought I could see them again. There were still two people right out in the middle of the current, going real fast, just screaming for help.
I knew that Marcia didn't know how to swim. I just sat there and cried.
A rescue unit with Riggins ambulance responded, including volunteer EMT Gary Toth.
We know the water's cold, so immediately you think hypothermia. That's when your core temperature starts to drop. If the body continues to cool, it shuts down and eventually will go into a cardiac arrest.
I shot out of the neighborhood and right out of town. There they were, coming in pretty fast current. I knew there was an eddy, and if I could get them into that spot, I could reach them and pull them out of the river.
Come on, you can make it! Swim! Swim to me!
I yelled, here, come in, right here.
Come on, you can make it! Swim to me! Swim!
The man was staying with the woman, and together they couldn't break the current line. I really thought they were in very serious danger because I knew this big rapid was coming, time zone. The water was extremely cold. My strength was going quick. I was sick to my stomach, thinking that, Norm, you should have gotten them there and you didn't, and that I would find people that were dead at the bottom of time zone. I drove down the river, across time zone bridge. More and more people were arriving to help them.
What happened? Where are they? Some floaters coming. They can't self-rescue. They're going through time zone rapid. See them? Where are they?
They had already floated perhaps a mile or more in very frigid, powerful water. I thought, if they are alive when they get here, this is the last chance. I yelled, work this way.
Come on, in here, we'll get you, come on.
He was holding on to her and fought to the very end. They finally broke the current line. Physically, they had lost all their strength. They could not have climbed out of that river themselves. If they would have missed that little soft eddy there, I think they would have died.
The water temperature was in the low 40s. By the time Marcia and Dwayne were pulled to safety, they'd been in it for half an hour.
What do we got?
The first sign of severe hypothermia is where the patient cannot control the shivering. Marcia was shaking throughout the whole body. But when I got down to assess Dwayne, he was in worse shape. He was not shivering. I realized at that point that he had already progressed to the next step. In trying to keep Marcia alive and afloat, his body temperature dropped down to a dangerous level.
How you doing, Dwayne? You feel okay?
Dwayne was laying beside me, and he was so pale. Even though I was trying to say something to him, He didn't even make the effort to turn, and that scared me a lot.
Volunteer EMT Annie Wilson was treating Marcia.
Dwayne's doing fine.
To reassure her that her husband was there and that he was okay, I unwrapped the blankets and allowed her arm to be free. And then Gary did the same for Dwayne.
Hold on to his hand there, Marcia. He's right here next to you.
And she put our hands together. He gave me that squeeze, and I knew, that he was going to be all right.
You starting to warm up a little bit?
It was kind of touching,
We're loaded. We're ready to roll.
I like to see married couples who love each other,
Dwayne and Marcia Dust were taken to the hospital where they were treated for hypothermia and released the same night.
I really thought I was going to drown. When I was in the river, I didn't really feel cold, but a couple times I felt like I was going to pass out. And I told myself, no, I can't do that. I have to stay awake.
No. He never told me that I'd been holding him under, or that he was tired, or that he was weak. Not once did I ever see that he was scared or anything. He was always so strong for me.
Good. Nice to meet you.
I was very thankful that Dwayne and Marcia both had their life jackets on, because without those, I know this scenario would have turned out different.
He wouldn't leave you.
No, he didn't. I would say after 20 years of marriage,
Rafting is safe when you do it right, which means going with somebody who knows the river and with all the proper safety equipment.
This is the part of the river you missed going without the raft.
Dwayne and I have been married so long, we know each other so well. He loves me and I love him. He's my hero. And I tell him this all the time. This is his new thing. You're my hero. I really do think that Dwayne saved my life.
We often become so comfortable with our surroundings that we may overlook the dangers there, as Vivian and Dave Swanson discovered on the evening of March 1st, 1993, at the family ranch in Athol, Idaho.
School today.
Fine.
Good.
Project.
The kids and I all went out to the barn. We were going to feed the animals. The kids asked if they could swing on the swing. It's up in the loft. And so I said, sure, no problem.
What do you say, Bullet? Huh? A little hanger.
Okay. Put your foot in. And go.
Hey, kids. I'm gonna go get some wood. Be back in a minute.
We've always lived out in the country, and we've always had ropes hanging in trees and everything else. Kids love to swing.
10-year-old Atea and her 5-year-old brother Mark stayed behind in the barn.
I'll put my foot in this loop. Let me adjust it.
All of a sudden, the door came open, and Mark steps in and says, Taya's hanging by a rope in the barn.
From the rope in the barn.
It just kind of went over my head, and I turned back at the TV just for a split second. And then it dawned on me what he had said.
Atea! Atea!
I wasn't getting a response, so I was just thinking the worst. I've never seen anything so gruesome in my life. It's just a sight I'll never forget.
When we continue.
I've never had to use CPR in my life, but now the first time I'm ever using it, I'm using it on my own daughter.
My daughter was hanging from the rope fire, yes. And my husband ran out there. I heard him scream.
soon as I got her loose, I checked the pulse because I didn't know if she was alive or dead. And I had a pulse, but she wasn't breathing. So I cleared her throat and I started to administer rescue breathing.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I've never had to use CPR in my life, but now the first time I'm ever using it, I'm using it on my own daughter.
Come on,
I was scared because she wasn't going to be around anymore.
I looked up in the loft and I said, Dave, how is she? And he said, Vivian, she's almost dead. I just couldn't believe that God would take such a little life like that away. You know, because I know she's going to grow up to be a wonderful person.
Apparently when she had hung herself, it had caused her to vomit. And so she was all blocked up. And I had to clear her throat, I bet you, half a dozen times.
Come on.
She was just laughing and playing around the house that night. And just a couple minutes later, she's half dead.
You can do it. You can do it.
I mean, she's just so full of life and stuff that I couldn't imagine going through life without her.
Dad, she's going to be okay?
She's going to be okay, Marky.
It was a real relief when she started breathing on her own. But I started thinking about coma, paralyzation, and it scared me. It scared me real bad.
Within 5 minutes of the call, the Bayview Athol Quick Response Unit arrived, including EMT Shane Baldwin.
When we arrived, we were met by the mother, who was extremely hysterical at the time.
Okay, come on, sweetheart.
The father already had the girl down, but it just scared the hell out of me.
Come on, Taya, come on, Taya. Not good. She had a pulse, but she wasn't breathing.
EMT Debbie Claney helped treat the young girl.
The father was really, really upset. He was afraid that because he took her down, that he may have hurt her neck worse. And we kept telling him, no, he did everything that he should have done. I mean, he did excellent.
Come on, sweetheart. She was in real bad shape.
Come on,
Her blood pressure was down, her respirations were down, and that's not good for a child. When they start going down that bad, they're not long for this world, usually.
I never looked at that rope like a noose, never. And I couldn't believe that I'd overlooked it, and I felt really guilty.
I was not sure if I would ever see this girl alive again, and it just tore me up. If I could give my right arm to have this little girl live, I would gladly do that.
I'll be sending them down. Okay, very good. Okay, thanks.
Ataya was transferred by Heart Flight helicopter from the local hospital to the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit at Sacred Heart Medical Center, where she was examined by Dr. Daniel Brudico.
What do we got? We received Ataya in critical condition. She was comatose, completely unresponsive to any stimuli.
How's her neural status in flight?
Been very unresponsive this time.
The most difficult thing for me to do is to talk to the parents and have to tell them that she may survive but may not be the Ataya that they knew before. Okay. Just stand with her here, hold her hand and talk to her.
When we first saw her, it wasn't my little girl. They had tubes and everything out of her, and it was so sad. Pretty sad.
The doctor said, I want you guys to keep talking to her because she can hear you. And so me and Dave took turns all night. We talked about what the things we were going to do. And at this point, we knew she was alive. We didn't know how she was going to live the rest of her life.
Come on, honey.
I was sad because Dad was in the hospital and I wanted her to come home. Sometimes we fight a lot, but I still love her.
I'm still here, Ataya. I was there at 6:30 that morning, and she just opened her eyes and looked at me. Ataya? Ataya? I said, do you know who I am? She just nodded her head, and I knew she was going to be all right. I was positive she was going to be all right. I just had a big smile on my face.
Atea was released after 4 days in the hospital without any sign of permanent injury.
She's just as bright as she ever was. The only reminder we have is the small rope burn on her neck.
Come on, Clay, you can hit it. I still do all the things that he used to do, but I'm a little bit more carefuler than I used to be. When I went back to school, my teacher had made me a cake, and the kids were really thankful that I was still alive.
In fact, she kind of had a big head after that. She came home one day and told me that she was the most popular kid in school. And I told her, that's not the way you want to be popular.
We don't have the rope there anymore. We cut it down, but we made a new swing that you could probably never get her on. Hey, my turn.
I was just so thankful that Mark reacted the way he did. For him to run all the way from the barn to the house and told somebody, that's what saved her life.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of that little boy. Yeah.
I'm glad my sister's okay because she's my friend. Come here, Prince. I feel really thankful for my dad and my little brother because my dad and my brother saved my life.
You look like a real pro out there.
Right now, if somebody don't know CPR, I'd say they're crazy because it saved my daughter's life.
Pat him there you go. If I had one thing to say to the rescue team, I would just say thank you. I owe you a great debt that I will never be able to repay.
I love riding horses and doing things with animals. I want to be a veterinarian. I have a lot to look forward to when I grow up.
For many people, New Year's is a time to reflect on the past and look toward the future. As the parents of 6 children, Ted and Audrey Sycamore of Ontario, Canada, thought they had a lot of happiness ahead of them and never expected to ring in 1993 with despair.
Have you seen the switcher anywhere?
No. Hey guys, keep away from the table, okay? No, put those back. You guys, that's the last one, all right?
It was New Year's Day, and we were going to have family over in the evening.
Come on, guys.
Come on, let's go. The
Pick
movie's
this
about
up.
to start.
You guys, you said you'd clean this up. Come on. Get this one, this one.
I got everything ready, and then I went to sit down with my husband to watch TV.
Okay? Please, just simmer.
It's controlled chaos. But we're trying to wind them down.
Thank
So
you.
we'll take this one and put
Come on,
them away.
toys
Come
away,
on.
guys. Toys
Away.
away. Come on.
I want them put away.
We do believe that children are a gift, and that is the most precious thing you're ever going to have. So whether you have 1 or 2 or 10, each one is precious. Matthew comes to sit beside him with peanuts, and he's feeding me, and then he'd take his own. And then he took 2 or 3, and he'd laugh because he was getting, he was getting the most.
23-month-old Matthew had been recently diagnosed with food allergies.
Wheats and barleys and oats and anything like that, he cannot have. So peanuts are what he's allowed to have.
Matthew and Doug were playing around. They went running around the table and ran out of the room.
Come on. Oh, Matthew's not breathing.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
You got the ambulance here?
Yes, I'm on Highway 8.
Yeah?
My 9th Street Lounge. Our child is losing, he's passing out.
Niagara Central ambulance dispatcher and paramedic Denise Sturge took the call.
Okay. Should I take him to the hospital?
You have a lot of people that panic. Seconds seem like minutes. They feel that stop asking so many questions, hang up the phone, we'll go by car. And I had to basically say, no, stay put, you're not going anywhere.
Okay,
what is the problem there?
He just passed out. He's not breathing.
Okay,
He's turning white.
Who?
My son. He's 3 years old.
Oh, was he choking?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you know how to do mouth to mouth?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'll try.
Okay.
Send somebody down here, please.
I will. I got an ambulance on the way right now.
An ambulance on the way.
Okay, now listen to me. I'm going to give...
I couldn't hear the lady on the phone because it was too much noise in the kitchen. I said, you take the phone and let me try to do whatever it is that she's telling you to do.
Listen to me, honey. Listen to me. Settle down. I'm going to give you some instructions. Settle down.
Okay.
Settle down.
Okay.
What happened?
He was eating. I think he's choking. I don't know. My son also said he's not breathing. He's on the floor. He's blue. He acts like he's dying, but he just went limp. And he's totally limp. And he's not breathing at all. And he's white and blue.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Audrey.
Audrey, listen to me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you open his mouth?
Open his mouth.
Check his airway.
Check his airway.
What was he eating?
I think peanuts, just really tiny peanuts.
Okay. Listen to me. Is he gasping?
Yeah.
Okay.
The air is coming out.
Okay. What I want you to do is turn him on his belly, and I want you to give him some back blows in between his shoulder blades.
Okay. Put him on his belly and hit him on his back.
I want you to hold him if you can.
Hold him if you can.
I think what really hit me the most in her voice was I went through the same experience with my son. So I know exactly where this mom's coming from.
Back things between the shoulders.
Okay, anything?
Anything? No, nothing. Nothing.
Okay, I want you to go towards his tummy now.
Go towards his tummy.
Underneath, you can feel his rib cage.
I can feel
in the center.
Yes.
Okay. I want you to give him 4 quick up jabs.
Up jabs?
Yeah, up.
1, 2.
Ones. What's he doing now?
His mouth was open, but he's out.
Okay, I want you to give him a breath.
Give him a breath. Over his nose?
Yeah, in his mouth.
Over his nose and his mouth, hon. Oh, my goodness, I just can't happen.
Okay, listen to me. Tell me if you can feel his heartbeat.
Can you feel his heartbeat, Ted? Is there anything? His heart is beating. His heart is beating.
Okay, is he breathing at all?
Is he breathing? No.
Tell him to take 2 breaths again. He can tell if he's hitting something.
Okay, are you trying over his nose and his mouth?
When I blew into his mouth, his cheeks blew up like balloons. So I'm thinking, how come the air is not going anywhere? So I took a deep breath and I blew hard. And I found out afterwards that was not right because apparently you can blow a kid's lung out if you blow too hard.
Did you get any air in?
I could hear air going in. Then he sucked hard, like you could see he was working at it with everything he had. He was getting nothing.
Stuff is coming out of his...
What kind of stuff?
Looks like
mucus?
Peanut, yeah, and he's choking on peanuts. That's what it is.
That's it. Get it out.
Oh, we can't get it out.
Keep trying.
I've got my finger.
He's doing good.
Waiting. Okay, over his mouth again. Breathe in.
Yeah.
Okay, breathe in.
Anything in his airway that he can see?
He's trying to breathe on his own.
Good. Keep doing it. 4 in the front, 4 in the back.
4 in the front. Just up, Ted, to get it out.
Yeah. Well,
okay, now turn him around. Turn him around. Oh, please.
Okay, what's his color like?
Let me see. His color's not blue anymore.
Okay, good. That's good sign. He's getting air in. That's good. Okay?
They're not here.
Honey, if they're on their way, they're driving as fast as they can.
I know. He lives too far out in the country.
Within 10 minutes of the call, the first rescue workers arrived at the house, including off-duty paramedic Lynn Redmond.
He was obviously in a lot of trouble, and we didn't have a lot of time to work with. From 0 to 1 year, you do back blows and abdominal thrusts. After 1 year, you're only supposed to do abdominal thrusts, but you go by the size of the child, too. He wasn't a big baby.
Honey, listen to me. Listen to me.
I'm gonna get off the phone.
He made these terrible gasping noises. And I thought that was his last breath of air. And I figured, you know, that's it. He's gone.
St. Catherine's ambulance paramedic Jim Howard was also on the scene.
Mom was extremely distraught. And it was just really hard. She almost had given up. It was really hard to convince her that she can't give up. We were doing everything we could, and that we just couldn't know yet.
Matthew was taken to St. Catherine's General Hospital and examined by pediatrician Dr. Ivan Sampson.
I'll come around that side if you just hold this. He was unconscious. He was barely breathing, and his circulation was in a very poor state. I thought we may very well lose this patient. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you.
The doctor came in and told us that we think your son will have a lot of brain damage.
And this is directly due to the fact that he went through a period of time with little oxygen.
I'd be really crying and thinking, you know, he won't come home the same little boy. I mean, that morning he's hugging you and kissing you and blowing kisses at you, and he's, you know, he's the baby of the family. Everyone loves the little guy. We went back to the room every 10 minutes. And, you know, I'd hold his hand and try to get him to look at me to respond, because he didn't know who I was.
It was weird because he looked right through me. He did not see me. I don't even know if he could see, you know? And that really hit hard. Then just before I went to bed, I shook a rattle, and he actually turned his head. He looked and his expression changed, and then it went. We lost it. It was just a moment.
All that night, Matthew's parents stayed at the hospital. Early the next morning, they were called to their son's room by one of the nurses.
He's looking around, and he's got his bottle, and he is just, boom, he's all there.
He just was sitting up and saying, you know, hi, and it was as if nothing had happened.
Everything is the way it was before. And that's all there is to it.
In the 2 months since the accident, Matthew has shown no sign of brain damage.
When we first came home, the first week was really bad. I kept following him, like, don't fall, don't eat food, like, sit down. And I was really overreacting to every little thing. But that's calmed down a lot. I think so. My husband doesn't think so. Denise was great. She always called my name. Audrey listened to me, and she stuck with us the whole time. It was just a very calming voice. All our thanks and praise goes to the Lord first. But I mean, Denise really was strong for us.
Go, okay.
Go give it to Daddy. Okay. They're the heroes because they saved their child. I was just there to give them the support and tell them that they could do it. Right after it happened, we took a course in CPR.
He caught a bee in his hand.
I definitely want to be prepared if anything else happens.
He had it right in his hand. Where's the birdie?
Next.
There's an old story that there's two types of motor officers, those that have crashed and those that will crash.
Most Saturday nights in Reno, Nevada, cruising on the downtown streets creates traffic snarls and problems for the police. On the evening of June 1st, 1991, close friends and fellow officers Derek Cecil and Jay Hawkins were nearing the end of their shift.
Derek and I, we have so many things in common. We joke with each other that we share the same brain. He was the best natural rider I've seen in a long, long time. There's an old story that there's two types of motor officers, those that have crashed and those that will crash. We had positioned ourselves in an area that we would have some concealment but still be able to see the intersection and see the violations. The kind of rule of thumb was whoever got their bike started first would get the violator. young adult had ran the red light at 6th Street, and I proceeded after the truck.
Victor Albiniano was walking to his car when he saw the accident.
You all right? He hit the ground and the truck rolled up on one of his legs. It was scary. It didn't even click that it was a police officer until I actually got right there to him.
God.
There's blood coming out of his helmet and a little bit out of his mouth.
Get some help or something, man.
I went for his neck and I started feeling for a pulse on his neck, and we got a pulse there. But we noticed he was having a hard time breathing. I decided not to take off the helmet because I was taught never to take pressure off a wound.
Be advised, we have a report of an officer down.
They advised that a motor officer had gone down. At first, it's like, it's Derek. But then, you're like, no, it can't be Derek. We decided to get the truck off his leg, but instead of drive it off, just pick it up and move it to the side. As soon as I got there and saw the scene, I remember running up to Derek and seeing him laying on his side, kind of on his back. Large amounts of blood were coming out of his helmet. You could see where the helmet had been impacted. I remember going up to him and saying, Derek, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna make it, you have to make it, you're gonna be okay. And turning away from him and realizing to myself that there was no way. You just don't have this kind of an accident and walk away from it.
Got a lot of blood here.
The only thing he wanted was to ride a motor. And he wasn't on motors probably 3 months when this happened.
With your fingers weak.
Within 4 minutes, Regional Emergency Medical Services Authority arrived, led by paramedic Greg Billett, who knew Derek.
Emotionally, you can't think about whether you know him or not. He had a large laceration above his forehead, which probably struck the truck first.
Okay.
His injuries were definitely critical in nature.
Derek, you got his neck. I'm gonna take his helmet.
Derek's supervisor, Sergeant Greg Dion, went to the scene as soon as he heard the call.
I remember feeling the sickening in the pit of my stomach. All my life I've seen people run over by trains, killed in car accidents, and you become immune to that after a while. When it's one of your own, when it's somebody you're close to, I felt just a tremendous shock. I just remember watching the paramedics work on him and thinking he's going to die.
Ready up. Roll 6.
Head injuries are so unpredictable.
I got it.
If he did survive it, was he going to be the same person? Was it going to be my friend again? I turned to the sergeant who was on scene. I said, I'm escorting the ambulance. And I remember Sergeant Butterman, the only thing he said to me was, just be careful.
Hang in there, buddy.
I did not see an improvement in the 15 minutes that I was with Derek. You like to see somebody at least come around and start talking to you, but he never did.
Hold on, man, you'll do okay.
While Derek was transported to Washoe Medical Center, his girlfriend Melissa Shanks was notified of his accident.
Hi, Greg, give me a report. Okay. I was very shaky when I got the call. I didn't know what happened to Derek at that point.
Okay, let's move it.
When I walked into the room, I saw a person being bagged. And it was like seeing someone that you didn't know. I was really scared.
No spontaneous motion, eyes are closed, his pupils are non-reactive.
At that point, really started to hit. He probably wasn't going to make it.
One of the physicians who helped treat Derek was Dr. Hayden Hill.
We have a scale
of rating severe head injuries. 15 is the highest or best score you can have. 3 is the lowest you can have. When he came into the hospital, Derek was a 4, which is a very, very severe head injury.
I remember going home that night. I just sat with my son, who at the time was probably 2 years old, and I didn't really want to leave him. It's a slap in the face that, you know, how quick and how precious life really is.
24-year-old Derek underwent surgery to relieve brain swelling and repair multiple skull fractures. But it took 8 days before he emerged from the coma.
He looked so pathetic. He was trying to talk to me, he couldn't. He was looking at me. I had tears running down my face because I thought, this guy is never going to come back to work. He's never going to be a cop. He's never even going to be the same again. He's not going to be Derek Cecil anymore.
Our goal was for him to be able to go home, to enter vocational rehabilitation, and ultimately obtain suitable employment. Nowhere in my thought process at that point did I believe he would be able to return to be a police officer. Fortunately, he made a liar out of me.
Miraculously, less than 5 months after his near-fatal accident, Derek Cecil returned to work at the Reno Police Department. Although he has permanent hearing loss in one ear, he has otherwise recovered from his injuries.
It's hard to express the emotion and feelings I have towards each of the individuals directly involved. I'd like to thank both of the paramedics from REMSA, the hospital staff. The feelings are overwhelming. I wouldn't even know how to word it correctly without sounding too silly on TV.
I think he's benefited from the accident in that instead of having that indestructible mentality that a lot of times people get into, he knows just how close he came. He's got that second chance.
My accident has changed my life. If you're driving a motorcycle, you have to pay that much more attention to traffic. If you're driving a car, take that extra second at a stop sign, because just a second can mean the difference in someone's life. In September of '94, Melissa and I are gonna get married. Never once did she leave my side. Never once did she cast any shadow of a doubt that I would recover. I love you, honey.
It's important to learn first aid and basic life-saving techniques. None of us can know when we might be called upon to help someone in need. This series is dedicated to all the men and women who choose to get involved when a life is at stake. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.